Have you ever felt like a phantom in a world teeming with life? Your every move a dance to a rhythm only you can perceive. A famous philosopher, Friedrich Nietzsche, once whispered a profound truth across the ages. And those who were seen dancing were thought to be insane by those who could not hear the music. This isn't just a clever saying, it's a key, a sacred key to understanding one of the deepest, most silent wounds. The human soul can endure the ache of being profoundly misunderstood. It's a pain that isolates, a quiet suffering that can make you question your own sanity, your own reality. You try to share the vibrant, complex symphony playing within your heart, but all they see are strange, erratic movements. They don't hear the celestial orchestra that guides your steps. If these words are vibrating deep within your core, if you've ever felt the sting of being labeled crazy or too much, simply for being true to your own inner melody, then know this: you have found a sanctuary here. You are not alone in this experience. This journey we are about to embark on is for you. It's a validation of your path and an illumination of the incredible power hidden within your perceived isolation. So, take a deep breath. Allow your soul to be open. And if this message resonates, let us know by liking this video, subscribing to our channel, and sharing your own story in the comments below with a simple, "I'm not crazy." Your voice is a note in this grand unseen symphony, and it deserves to be heard. There is a wound that leaves no visible scar, an ache that no medicine can touch. It is the phantom pain of the soul, the silent, pervasive ache of being misunderstood. This isn't a fleeting moment of embarrassment or an awkward silence at a dinner party. No, this is far deeper. It's a lingering loneliness that echoes in the hollow chambers of your heart, a resonance that can last for years, sometimes a lifetime. It's the feeling of shouting into a cosmic void, your truest words dissolving into nothingness. You make the courageous choice to reveal your authentic self, to peel back the layers and show the world the delicate, intricate truth of who you are. You share your dreams, your fears, your unique perspective on the universe, only to be met with blank stares, polite smiles, or worse, dismissive judgment. Your vulnerability is treated as a curiosity, your depth as a complication. It feels like you're speaking a celestial language that no one else was taught, a dialect of the soul that gets lost in translation. This wound often begins in the tender soil of childhood. Perhaps it was the first time you tried to explain a world you saw in vibrant colors, only to be told to be more realistic. Maybe it was when you showed a profound sensitivity, a deep empathy for the world around you, and were told you were too emotional or needed to toughen up. Each of these moments was a small, silent betrayal of your inner truth, teaching you a dangerous lesson. To be accepted, you must hide parts of yourself. So you learned to play along. You laughed at jokes that didn't feel funny and nodded in agreement with opinions that felt alien to your spirit. You constructed a mask, a carefully curated version of yourself that was more palatable, more understandable, more normal. But beneath that mask, the real you remained, unseen and unheard, and the ache of that invisibility only grew stronger, a constant, low-frequency hum beneath the noise of your everyday life. This isn't just your struggle. It's a sacred trial, experienced by so many old souls and pioneers of consciousness, navigating a world that often fears what it cannot categorize. Why does this wound persist? Why does it seem that no matter how hard you try, the ache never truly heals? It's because, as Nietzsche understood, this experience is often the price of individuality. In a world desperate for conformity, a world that builds its foundations on sameness and predictability, anyone who dares to think, feel, or exist differently will inevitably face resistance. The collective is comfortable with the familiar. It finds safety in the known. Your uniqueness, your inner music, is a frequency that disrupts that safety. It challenges the status quo without even trying. You don't have to be a rebel or a revolutionary in your actions. Your very essence, your authentic vibration, is a quiet revolution in itself. And so, the world, in its fear and confusion, will attempt to bring you back into the fold. It will label you. It will cast you out. It will ignore you. This isn't born of malice, but of a deep-seated fear of the unknown. They see you dancing with abandon, and because they are deaf to your music, their only logical conclusion is that you must be insane. This is what makes the pain cut so deeply. It's not just the rejection, it's the soul-crushing sense that the very thing that makes you uniquely you, your sensitivity, your creativity, your intuitive wisdom, your deep-seated connection to a reality beyond the materialist, the very reason you feel so utterly alone. It's a cosmic paradox. Your greatest gifts become the source of your deepest suffering. The world tells you to change, to quiet the music, to stop dancing, but your soul knows that to do so would be a betrayal far greater than any rejection you could ever face from the outside world. But here is a truth that most will never hear, a divine secret hidden within the heart of this pain. This ache is not a flaw. It is not a sign of your brokenness. On the contrary, it is the undeniable proof that your soul is still alive. It's a sacred signal, a sign that your spirit has not yet given up its divine right to be heard, to be seen, to exist in its fullest expression. Most people, when faced with this discomfort, choose to silence it. They learn to hide their inner world so effectively that, over time, they forget it even exists. They learn to play along with the silent majority, to wear their masks with such proficiency that the mask becomes their face. They find their comfort in blending in the shallow safety of being liked for who they are pretending to be. This is a survival mechanism, but it comes at a terrible cost. The slow, quiet numbing of the soul. Their ache eventually fades, not because it has been healed, but because the part of them that was aching has been silenced for good. But you are different. The fact that you still feel this ache, this profound sense of being misunderstood, means that your inner truth, your soul's authentic voice, is still fighting. It refuses to be silenced. It continues to sing its song, even if no one else is listening. Every time you feel that pang of loneliness, that frustration of not being seen, it is your higher self reminding you of who you truly are. It is a divine whisper saying, "Do not forget me. Do not abandon me for the comfort of the crowd." So what if you were to reframe this entire experience? I invite you, just for this moment, to suspend all the old stories you've been told about loneliness and alienation. What if you began to perceive this profound solitude not as a barren wasteland, but as a consecrated ground, a sacred space, meticulously prepared by the universe just for you? Think of it not as a prison, but as a vast, silent cathedral of the self. When the world, in its noisy and chaotic dance, fails to comprehend your unique rhythm, it isn't punishing you. It is, in a way, bestowing a profound and holy gift upon you. It is leaving you alone. And in that divinely orchestrated solitude, something truly miraculous has the space to be born. In the deafening silence left by the absence of external validation, you are finally given the opportunity to hear the whispers of your own soul. You are given the divine invitation to understand yourself on a level that is impossible when you are constantly performing for an audience. Imagine being released from invisible chains you didn't even know you were wearing. You are freed from the relentless, crushing pressure of external expectations, the expectations of your family, your friends, your culture, the very fabric of the society that told you who you were supposed to be. You are liberated from the incessant noise of other people's opinions, a cacophony of judgments, comparisons, and unsolicited advice that has, for so long, drowned out your own inner guidance. This solitude, this space that once felt like a curse, begins to transform. It becomes a sanctuary, a hallowed ground where your spirit can finally breathe. It is a divine incubation period, a chrysalis for your higher self, where you can at last, without interruption or fear, commune with the deepest, most authentic parts of your being. It is in this vast, quiet space that you can begin to hear the celestial music of your own soul with pristine clarity. The world's static fades away, and for the first time, you can truly listen. You can learn the intricate rhythms of your own heart, the soaring melodies of your passions, the complex and beautiful harmonies of your own unique frequency. You can learn to dance to this music, not as a performance for others, but as a sacred act of devotion to your own truth, for the sheer, unadulterated joy of the movement itself. Yes, the world may have isolated you, but understand this profound truth. In doing so, it has inadvertently pushed you onto the most sacred path of all, the path of radical self-acceptance. It has forced you to stop seeking validation from a world that could never truly give it, and to become your own source of light, your own unwavering ally, your own greatest love. This is an incredibly difficult journey, a pilgrimage through the dark night of the soul, but it is the only path that leads to true, unshakable, and sovereign freedom. The great philosopher Nietzsche, a soul who knew this ache intimately, understood this divine paradox. He believed that real freedom, the kind that resonates through every fiber of your being, comes not from being accepted by others, but from having the raw, terrifying courage to accept yourself in all your magnificent, messy, and misunderstood entirety. Remember this: the world's approval is as fickle as the wind, a fleeting shadow that can be won today and lost tomorrow. But the profound, unspeakable peace that comes from embracing your own voice, your own divine truth, even in the deepest, darkest chambers of loneliness, is eternal. It is unbreakable. It becomes your spiritual armor, forged in the very fires of your isolation. This, my friend, is the sacred alchemy of the soul, the divine process of turning your deepest, most agonizing pain into your most formidable power. It is a transmutation of lead into gold, of suffering into strength. When you make the conscious, courageous choice to stop running from the discomfort of being misunderstood, when you turn to face it, to embrace it, to allow yourself to truly feel its weight and texture, to study its contours, and even to honor the sacred lessons it carries, it begins a miraculous transformation. The shame that once clung to you like a shroud begins to dissolve, and in its place, a powerful wellspring of creativity, empathy, and divine purpose begins to bubble up from the depths of your being. The very sensitivity that you were taught to see as a weakness, the quality that made you feel so raw and vulnerable to the world, is revealed for what it truly is: your superpower. This heightened sensitivity is a divine instrument. It allows you to perceive the world with a depth, a richness, and a nuance that is lost on most. It enables you to connect with the subtle energies that flow through all of life, to feel the unspoken emotions in a room, to hear the silent suffering in another's heart, and to experience a profound, soul-deep sense of unity with the entire cosmos. It is your direct line to the divine. And the loneliness you have endured, it has not been in vain. It has meticulously carved out a vast, cathedral-like space within your heart. A space that is now capable of holding an immense and powerful empathy, a compassion that is born not of theory, but of direct, lived experience. Because you know the chilling ache of being unseen, you become a lighthouse for others who are lost in the same fog. You can see their light, their inner divinity, even when they are blind to it themselves. You become a mirror for their magnificence, reflecting back to them the truth of who they are, a truth they had long forgotten. Your strangeness, your weirdness, all the unique and unconventional ways your mind works, these are not flaws to be corrected. They are the fertile soil of your genius. They become the raw, sacred materials for your art, your music, your poetry, your philosophy. You begin to create, not from a place of needing applause or seeking validation, but from a burning, undeniable need to give voice to the universal truth that resides within you. Reflect on the history of human brilliance. Some of the world's greatest masterpieces, the art that has moved humanity for centuries, the music that has brought tears to millions of eyes, the philosophies that have reshaped civilizations, have come from people who intimately knew the ache of being an outsider. They were the misunderstood, the marginalized, the lonely ones. They took their pain, their isolation, their unique perspective, and they used it to carve out their own indelible place in the world. They wrote words that only a few kindred spirits would ever truly understand. But for those few, those words would become more than just art. They would become a lifeline, a map back home to themselves. This sacred journey of self-acceptance, inevitably, by the infallible law of resonance, leads you to your true allies, your soul family, This is not a matter of chance, it is a matter of frequency. When you finally gather the courage to stop pretending, to drop the heavy masks you've carried for so long, and to allow your authentic, unfiltered frequency to radiate out into the world, you begin to operate by a higher, more powerful law. Not the superficial law of social acceptance, but the immutable, universal law of energetic resonance. Your true vibration, the unique song of your soul, becomes a beacon, a powerful signal sent out into the cosmos. This signal will, by its very nature, repel those who are not in alignment with your truth. Their confusion, their judgment, their inability to see you is no longer a personal wound that cuts you to the core. You will come to see it for what it is, simply a sign of energetic incompatibility, a neutral indicator that your paths are not meant to converge. But what is far more important, and infinitely more beautiful, is that your authentic signal will act as an irresistible magnet for those who resonate with your music. These are your people. These are the souls who have been waiting for your song. Nietzsche beautifully called these connections elective affinities, the chosen bonds, the relationships that are formed not by obligation, proximity, or social convention, but by a deep, soul-level recognition. These are the bonds that truly make life worth living. Finding these people is not about luck or random chance. It is the direct, inevitable result of the risk you take every single time you choose authenticity over conformity. Every time you drop the mask, every time you speak your raw, unpolished truth, every time you dare to be unapologetically, gloriously yourself, you are sending out that call. And in doing so, you give others the silent, sacred permission to do the same. Your vulnerability, the very thing you were taught to hide, becomes a beacon of hope for every other soul who is tired of living a lie. You may never have a huge, roaring crowd cheering you on. Your tribe may be small, but the few who see you clearly, the ones who can hear the subtle notes of your quiet music, will matter more and will nourish your soul more deeply than the thousands who saw your mask but never truly knew you at all. And when you do find them, the recognition will be instantaneous and profound. There will be a powerful sense of relief, an exhale you didn't even know you were holding. It will feel like coming home after a long, arduous journey. It is the quiet, soul-deep acknowledgement that finally, someone gets it. Someone finally, truly gets you. So, I implore you, let go of the exhausting, soul-crushing need to be understood by everyone. It is a fool's errand, a desperate chase for a phantom approval that will always remain just out of reach. The profound truth is that most people are so deeply engrossed in their own performance, so busy hiding from their own inner worlds, that they are simply not equipped to truly see you. Their inability to hear your music says absolutely nothing about the beauty of your song, but it speaks volumes about the depth of their own inner silence. You must understand this. You are not here on this earth to be understood by the masses. You are here for a much grander, more sacred purpose. You are here to understand yourself. You are here to become the very person you have always wished someone else would see. You are here to stand as a living, breathing testament to the fact that being misunderstood is not a curse, but a strange and beautiful blessing. It is the undeniable proof that you are living a story so unique, so authentic, that only you could possibly live it. Of course, the ache will still come. It is a part of this human experience. There will be nights steeped in shadow when you doubt your path, when the silence feels less like a sanctuary and more like a punishment. There will be days when the loneliness presses against your chest like an unbearable weight, a sorrow you feel you cannot lift. But listen closely. Inside that very heaviness, a quiet, resilient strength is being forged. With each moment, you choose to stand in your truth. Despite the fear, you become a little braver, a little stronger. You will begin to notice how much lighter your life becomes when you finally put down the crushing weight of everyone else's expectations. You will start to recognize the person in the mirror, not as a flawed reflection of who you think you should be, but as the powerful, beautiful being person you can finally, deeply respect. A person you can truly, unconditionally love. The pain of being misunderstood may never disappear entirely, but it can be transformed. It will no longer be the anchor that holds you down, but the fuel for your journey. It will become the compass that guides you, not to a destination of external acceptance, but to a life of profound meaning, deep purpose, and authentic connection. This is the quiet revolution of self-acceptance. It is a rebellion fought not with swords, but with vulnerability. It begins in the very moment you decide, with unwavering conviction, that your own approval is the only one that truly matters. If you can stay true to that sacred commitment, you become unbreakable. Your very life becomes your message, a unique and irreplaceable melody in the grand symphony of the universe, a song that is destined to reach the right people at the right time, in the right way. Most people will spend their entire lives trying desperately to be understood. A rare and beautiful few will use that very same longing to courageously become themselves. You already know, deep in your soul, which one you are meant to be. The only question left is, will you answer that call? Or will you allow the ache of being misunderstood to silence the magnificent music within you for good? Understand that what you choose now, in this moment, will echo for years to come, shaping the very destiny of your soul.